Welcome to Let's Talk Horses. I'm your host, Jason Vance. Joining me is Carey Williams, an equine specialist at Rutgers University. Today we are going to discuss horse supplements. Carey, you see a lot of ads for supplements, but just how important are they for horses?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of horses, you first need to look at their overall diet. If they're on a balanced diet, and first you have to know what balanced diet is, if they're on a good quality forage source and an adequate number or amount of forage, and they're balanced in terms of their nutrients, so they have enough protein, vitamins, minerals, etc., then typically most horses don't need a supplement. However, there's a lot of problems that could require a supplement.
What are some of the different conditions that supplements would benefit a horse?
That follows up nicely to that. The number one most supplemented supplement on the market now is a joint supplement. So a lot of these joint supplements help conditions like osteoarthritis. So as horses get older, sometimes they have a lot of wear and tear on our joints, just like we do. And these joint products have glucosamine, chondroitin sulfate, stuff like that in them that could potentially benefit horses. It's not a hard and fast yes or no, but some horses could benefit. Other things like electrolytes help the exercising horse. When they sweat, they lose the electrolytes, so they actually need the supplement to replace those electrolytes lost. Those are really the top two supplements. There are tons of things out there that really don't have the research backing them as to whether they benefit, so I'd rather not discuss those right now.
Are there any negative impacts of feeding supplements to horses?
Absolutely. A lot of people, when they're feeding their supplements, they have one for joints, one for their hooves, one for their coat, another vitamin mineral to cover all the bases, and the list goes on. What the owners really need to do is look at the label and see how many of those supplements have similar ingredients. Magnesium is a big one. It can be toxic to horses if fed at very high levels. Same with vitamin A, selenium. Those are some other things that could be toxic if they're not careful. So they really need to be careful when they're looking at supplements that there's not a lot of overlap in the ingredients that they're using.
Which I know a lot of feed companies do add some certain supplements to their feeds, and they spend a lot of money to get the balance right there, to where really adding supplements to pre-packaged feed is not really a good idea, is it?
And that's exactly why I mentioned at the beginning, if your horse is on a balanced diet, there's very little reason why they do need any extra supplements. So that's why a lot of people just throw in a supplement to cover all their bases. What they should really do is talk to a nutritionist, find out, is their diet balanced, and if it is, then they really probably don't need any supplements.
Which that kind of leads into, how should a horse owner determine whether or not to give their horse a supplement?
And that is a good question. I think the best thing they could do is find a nutritionist and ask if their diet is really balanced. Look at their grasses that they're on, any forage that they're on, any commercial feeds, and then any other supplements that they might already be on to see if it is balanced first. They could also talk to their vet if their horse is having certain conditions that might benefit from that. Poor hooves. If it's a nutritional deficiency that is causing the poor hooves, then a supplement might be a good idea. So really, to get your nutritionist and a veterinarian on board is probably first and foremost.
Do you have any advice about supplements for horses in general?
I think we hit the two big ones. Be an educated buyer, read all the labels, and talk to a veterinarian and nutritionist to see if they're really necessary.